In this video, we're going to walk through the process of getting your school or organization on board with Tagg. So after you've talked with our sales team and they've created your account, you'll get an email inviting you to the platform where you can verify your email address, create your password, and get set up to log into your account. So when you log in for the first time as an administrator, you'll be walked through all of these steps that you need to complete to get your schools set up to use Tagg. So let's log in, and now we can see here that the steps have launched. So the first step is to create all of the schools in your organization. So let's go through for the first school and create it, filling out the name, the school website, a good contact email, your school's address so that we can find subs near you, and the contact phone number, and what type of school it is, the lowest grade, the highest grade, and the school start and end times. So these times will be the default times for any subs requests that are sent out by teachers at your school, but they can always be edited on the sub request level as well if, say, it's a half-day job or a job that happens to have different times. This section here, would you like to allow teachers and staff to create job requests? This is up to you. So if you only want administrators to make requests on behalf of teachers and you don't want your teachers to log in and request their own subs, you would just click that no, only school or district admins can make requests. But we're going to let all of our users and our teachers request subs as well, so we just leave that selected, and then we will create school. So now we can see over here to the right that our school has been created. So I'm going to quickly go through and repeat that same process to create all of the schools in my organization. And now we can see they're created, and we click the next button. So this step is to add a primary bank account for your organization. This account is the default account that's applied to all of your schools and where all transactions for Tagg will be pulled from, but you can always go to your banking page later and add other bank accounts if you use different accounts for each school. So we'll give the account a nickname, just whatever we want to keep it straight, and we'll fill out the routing and account numbers. We're also going to enter the name on the account, and then we click Add Bank Account. And now that account is set as the primary account for our organization, and we'll need to watch the bank statements over the next few days and look for 2 small deposits from Stripe. And when we see them, you just go to the banking page and enter in the amounts of those transactions to verify the account. But for now, since we're just waiting for the microtransactions, we can just move on to the next onboarding step. So this step sets your substitute teacher settings. Again, this will be the default for all of your schools, but it can be changed later from the school profile. So we'll say that for subs that cover for teachers, we'd like them to have at least a bachelor's degree, and that for subs for assistant teachers, we need them to have at least a high school diploma or GED. And then we need to select whether or not subs at our schools need to be licensed. This subpool settings section only applies if you've signed up for employed sub management, which is a Tagg Plus feature. So if you have employed subs, meaning subs on your school's payroll that aren't Tagg contractor subs and aren't available to other schools on the Tagg platform, you can decide if you want to send jobs only to those employed subs, if you want to send sub requests out to the employed subs first, and then send them to Tagg subs if they're unfilled, if you want to send all of your jobs out to both employed subs and Tagg contractors at the same time, or if you only want to send to Tagg contractors. And if you don't have employed sub management, Tagg subs only will be your only option, so we're going to go ahead and select that. Then we enter in the default pay rates for subs that cover for teachers and for subs that cover for assistant teachers. And these can also be changed on a job-to-job basis. And you can see to the right here that we calculate the total charge will be based on those pay rates. And then we click Save Sub Settings, and we can see that's been applied to all our schools, and we can click Next to move on. This step is only available if your school has purchased absence tracking, which is another Tagg Plus feature. So if you don't have absence tracking, don't worry about this step. But if you do, this is where we'll create custom leave types for our teachers to choose from when they request a sub or take time off. So all we need to do is enter in the name of the leave type, whether or not it counts as paid time off, and then this leave type will be available to all of your teachers at all of your schools. And again, if you'd like for certain leave types to only be available at certain schools, you can always edit that from the school profile. So let me quickly add a few leave types for my schools to choose from, and then we'll move on to the next step, adding administrators. So at Tagg, we consider an administrator to be anybody that you'd like to have the power to manage a school, manage teachers, and make substitute requests on behalf of teachers. So this may be your substitute coordinator, your office administrators, principals, whoever you'd like. So we'll fill out this form, entering in the admin's first name, last name, their contact email, and their employee ID if you'd like. And now we choose their role. So the only difference between school admins and district admins is that district admins manage all of the schools in your organization, and school admins will only be assigned to one school and can only manage that school. So we'll make this a school administrator since she's only going to be managing Hogwarts, and then just make sure you've selected the school you want for that admin to be assigned to. And then we click Add Admin, and we can see to the right that her account's created and she'll be invited to the platform. And now I'm going to go through quickly and add administrators at all my other schools. And they all will be getting email invites to set up their accounts and log in. So we click Next. This step is adding teachers and staff. So just like administrators, we can add each teacher one by filling out this form, but we also have the option to bulk upload all of our teachers at once by school. So that's what we're going to do. So I click the bulk upload link and select the school I'm going to do first. And then I can download this template to show me how to format the CSV of all the teachers that I'm going to upload for this school. So in the example CSV, we can see that we need each teacher's first name, last name, email address, and employee ID if we want, and then we need to enter in the teacher's role. And here it's important that we don't type in the words, instead we do numbers. So we use a 0 for assistant teachers, 1 for teachers, and 2 for staff. And at Tagg, we consider staff to be anybody who has the same privileges as a teacher but may have a non-traditional classroom, but they can still request time off. So please don't upload your sub coordinator or anyone that you want to make sub requests on behalf of other teachers as a staff member. Those should be admins, and a staff member would be more like a paraprofessional. So we're going to fill out that CSV with all of our teachers for Hogwarts in that format and then save it as a CSV. And now we just need to choose that file where we've saved it on our computer and click upload. So here on the review table, you can see any rows that might have errors are going to be at the top and have a little red bullet point next to them. So for this first row, what happened is that we entered in the role wrong. So we just need to go to that drop down and select a role. And if there was anything that was left off of the CSV or that you'd like to add or change, you can just do it right on the table. And for our teachers' subjects, if you know the subject for all your teachers, you can go ahead and select it here on the table and they'll be created with that subject. But if you don't, that's all right. You can just leave it blank. And when your teachers log into Tagg for the first time, they'll be responsible for setting their subject. And then we click Submit, and it will create all of those teachers for Hogwarts and invite them to the platform, and we can see them listed over here to the right. So now what we could do is go through and repeat that process for each school, or if you'd like, you can add teachers and staff later after the onboarding process is complete. So for now, we're going to move on with just our Hogwarts teachers added. So we click Next. In this step, we add employed subs. And again, this is only available if you have employed sub management, which is a Tagg Plus feature. These subs are just your employees, not available as Tagg contractors, not available to other schools. And we can add them by filling out the form one by one for each of them. Or again, we have the option to bulk upload all of our employed subs, which is a little bit easier. When we add these subs, they're going to be available to all the schools in our organization. And then you can manage that from the subs profile if you'd like certain subs to only work from certain schools. So let's click bulk sub upload. And we just kind of repeat that same process. So we'll download an example Excel file to see how we should format our list of employed subs. And this one's a little more simple than teachers. It's just going to be first name, last name, and email for your employed subs. So I will enter in all the information on my employed subs, save it in CSV format, and then choose the file from my computer and click upload. And again, we have a table to review. Here we can see what would happen if we had a typo or a character that's not allowed in one of the columns. So we'll just delete those apostrophes and extra spaces from that row. We'll delete the semicolon there. And this yellow section is what would happen if you tried to create an account for somebody that already has an account in Tagg with that email address. So if that happened, you would just need to contact support and we would get their account sorted out for you. But in this case, it was just a typo, so I'm just gonna fix that. And now for employed sub roles, you have the option, do you want your employed sub to only cover for assistant teachers, only cover for teachers, only cover for admins and staff, or do you want them to be available for any combination of those types of jobs? So we're going to say that all of our subs can work for any type of job. So I'm just going to go through quickly and set that. And then we click submit. And again, all of these employed subs will be created and will be added to the platform as employees at our school. And that is the entire onboarding process for your organization or schools. So now that that's done, we just go over and click the finish button. And now we can see here all of those schools that I just created, and a Tagg representative will be watching those schools. And as soon as they have a verified bank account, we will enable the school and your organization will be entirely set up to use Tagg.